What's going on, everybody? This is Chris Classic dropping the car vlog. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Monday, beginning of the work week. Always remember that God loves you, Christ loves you, and I love you as well. I know it's kind of difficult for people to be like, how do you love somebody that you don't know or you never met? But it's real easy to me. I do care for people. I do care for humanity in general, and I think the best way is through Christ and through God, through the Holy Spirit. I'm praying for people's breakthroughs. I'm praying for people's answers and things like that. And if things aren't going your way, I am praying for your discernment and your understanding and your faith as well, because sometimes things just do not go our way. I'm not one of these people to just be like, everything will happen everywhere when you follow Christ. I'm just not going to do that. But however, we do know that God's will is stronger than everybody else's, and you can't even control his will. So always remember that. Love you guys. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, the Take It Home Podcast, where I talk about professional wrestling topics. Also, make sure you subscribe to C3 Ultimate Wrestling. It's currently run by the board, but it is still me and my wife's company. Like I said, when I get the time and when I have all the stuff that I can say, I will say to you guys, maybe in a live. I'm probably going to do a live because I'm sure a lot of other people have questions about it too. We're getting ready for our second show of the year, July 6th, called Red Fighting Blues. Independence Day weekend. So the fireworks of wrestling will be upon you guys in the afternoon, and then you can see the real fireworks at night, or you will see Money in the Bank. I didn't know till like last week that Money in the Bank is going to be that same day. So you get to see some double wrestling if you like. I wanted to talk about the Drew Gulak situation. Now, he's released. And after he got released, even before he got released, there was a situation with Ronda Rousey. And then now, after he's released, people are finding old interviews of what Cody Rhodes said. And then there was a comment about what Triple H said about Drew Gulak at Backlash, saying that he wasn't released, his contract expired. So I wanted to talk about a little bit of this stuff. Now, Drew Gulak, I've seen him when I started watching the Cruiserweight Classic on the WWE Network, and I thought that was a pretty good tournament. I wish they would bring stuff like that back, the Mae Young Classic and stuff. I really wish they'd bring it back, but who knows. Anyway, so I'm not going to sit here and say, like, I just loved his work, but he's been in wrestling, he's been in WWE for a while. And he got released one time, and then he even came back, and then they hired him to help people in the Performance Center. Keep that tidbit to the side, keep it in a tab. Put it in a file. But, he got released. Now, all of this is stemming from Ronda Rousey saying basically he grabbed her drawstring from her pants or whatever like that. And he said that he was going for a handshake. And after that, they took him off of shows. They took him out of the internal board thing that they're doing. What they do with wrestlers. And then they released him last week. So then now, a few days ago, they're saying that Cody Rhodes, he said something 7 years ago saying that he don't like him and he thinks he sucks, which is shocking to hear from Cody Rhodes, especially because of how he acts, but it is what it is. And he also said that they was at an indie show or whatever like that, and a lot of people was in line for Cody Rhodes, and he said Drew Gulak looked at him and was mad and was saying oh man, I thought this was the line for the pizza, something like that, something about being in line for pizza. Then he said he threw a temper tantrum, so he said he put him on his list. That's what Cody Rhodes said. So people are talking about that, and then now there's a clip of him doing his finisher to somebody. I forgot the person's name, and they're saying that he's known to hurt people and drop them on their head and work their injured spot or whatever like that. So I'm going to talk about that as well. I don't know Drew personally. I'm not in the backstage locker room of WWE. I'm not going to imply that I am like a lot of people do. I'm just going to say, as a wrestler and as somebody who does content, I'm going to give you my sense on this situation. They definitely got Drew up out of there. Now, I don't know if he's bullied people or he's did what they've done, but this is smelling kind of foul, y'all. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. It's smelling kind of foul. Look, even the move, right? The move is a high-risk move. Any move could be a high-risk move. It's just, to me, it's a high-angle body slam. Body slams, I'm not going to tell y'all a lot of stuff, but I'm just saying, It's one of the most simple moves. You know what I'm saying? There's certain things you got to do. That's all I'm saying. So I can't really sit here and say like he spiked him, because that's what the commentators did. And my thing is, you can sway and you can move people's narratives by somebody off of what somebody said 7 years ago and off a move that probably did hurt. But that's part of the business. You get what I'm saying? So I will say that about the move or whatever. I just think there's certain ways to do it. I'm not mad at Drew for doing what he was supposed to do. I'm just saying that the fact that he was in WWE for so long is also something that doesn't sit well with me. And once again, I'm going to say, I'm not backstage, so I don't know if he has an attitude or he was a bully. I don't even know if he was on his last leg in the company. And maybe the Ronda Rousey situation was the leg that broke off. I don't know. But I'm just saying, this stuff is weird. Even how Triple H was saying, oh, well, he didn't get fired, he got released, and was like smiling with it. Like, I don't know. Like, see, this is what I be saying, though. And it's even with, like, social media, right? It's like, sometimes we don't know everything behind the scenes, and you never will. And it may be a possibility. But when one person that you like says something, sometimes you're just going to automatically just believe what they say and then just be like, I just know this person is bad. I've seen this countless times. A situation in around this area where a guy was being very stiff to a guy or whatever like that, and then other people just came out of nowhere and said they didn't like him before that because they just didn't like him because such and such didn't like him. I don't do this kind of stuff. Like, even with the word, right? I do want a lot of people to have relationships. I want everybody to have a relationship with Christ and with God and everything like that. But I do encourage them to read the word and try to have a relationship for your own. You know, I can't carry people to heaven. I can just try to get you guys to understand it. And that's the same thing with doing research and with doing certain situations. And this is something you just don't know. I just think it's odd. Why I didn't bring this up 7 years ago? Why wasn't this like brought up to like this guy is a bad guy or a bully or whatever? As far as the independent wrestling temper tantrum thing, look, it's a dog-eat-dog world out there as an independent wrestler. I have my gear folded, nice, fried down, laid to the side, presentable. Sometimes people buy merch, and that's cool, and some people don't, and that's cool. I'm glad that you want a picture, a high five, you record my match. Like, that kind of stuff happens. You get what I'm saying? Like, sometimes they will pay for somebody else's merch because either they like the person or maybe the gear looks better to them. That's their thing. So a temper tantrum, that's not something I do. I'd be like, well, I got something to sell next time. So, but I've seen tantrums. I've seen people say stuff, and I'm like, hey, man, you shouldn't say that. I've seen people get like real loud, or heard people get real loud, that it's like the fans can hear it. It's just like, I wouldn't support nobody that's loud that's trying to disrespect my wallet. So it is a dog-eat-dog world out there. I'm not going to sit here and be like, I don't know what that's like. But I'm not acting on those kind of emotions, you know. Some people probably just using their last money to see you at the wrestling show. You just don't know people's financial situations, you know. But going back into it, as far as him bullying and working injuries and like attacking injuries and stuff like that, of course, that's not something that's good. You shouldn't have a bully in the locker room and stuff like that. But we're talking about, you know, I know a lot of people can change from their past, but we're talking about, you know, Triple H running the company basically, and then it's just like this dude was an avid bully too. And just because Vince is out of the company, that doesn't mean that Triple H didn't learn some of the game from Vince McMahon. Just saying. Even Shawn Michaels. You know, and people can change. Like I said, as a follower, people can change. But you know, them people don't rock how I rock on faith. Maybe Shawn Michaels. Well, yeah, Shawn Michaels is one. So I will retract that. But still, some people do certain things they're not supposed to do. Maybe, like I said, maybe it was his last leg, and then the Ronda Rousey thing was the last thing. I don't know, but I just think it's all odd. Now everybody who has nothing to do with it, they're saying, okay, well, he should have been fired. I'm sure when Drew can speak about it, he will speak about it. I'm sure he will speak about guys he don't like, guys who he like, and stuff like that. Because, like I said, I think it's real odd that this dude is a bully, but you guys hired him to be helping people in NXT for so long. I think it's also funny that he was released, and then you guys brought him back. Like, I don't know, man. Like I said, from the outside looking in, I do not know. I just think that this is kind of a weird situation. And I would like to see more footage, possibly of him possibly hurting people, intentionally hurting people, whatever like that. I just think this is odd, you know, and I've said this before. Just because Vince is gone, it doesn't mean bad decisions are gone, you know. It just doesn't. You know, people thought releases weren't going to happen, and releases are happening. They're still happening now. Almost every day somebody's getting released right now, currently in the WWE regime. So that's just how I feel about the situation. You know, I do feel like maybe this is part of the damage control. Like, okay, well, we let go of a guy that is a piece of crap. But I'm just saying, if this is the guy that is trying to help the future and stuff like that, and he's been doing it for so long, why didn't this happen a long time ago? Why bring the man back? Now, I do know he was brought back under Vince's WWE. I will say that. But still, man, like, I don't know, dog. I don't know. Something a little weird going on. We may see what happens. We may not. But let me know. What do you guys think? Am I tripping? Or maybe, you know, it was the right decision. Like I said, I'm one of these guys who talk about content that, like, if I'm not 100%, I'm going to say it. I don't work for WWE. I'm not a good friend of Drew Gulak. I don't know. But I'm just giving my 2 cents. So let me know. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is Chris Classic. Let's take it home.